This is the city, but what happens when we move out of the screen and into the city itself? Technology is embedded and overlaid on the city, but it's often invisible to us. Smart cities are about understanding how we experience a city through technology and designing for how we can inhabit it more meaningfully. My name is Katharine Willis, and I'm a Professor of Smart Cities and Communities in the School of Art, Design and Architecture. Over the last 20 years, I've been investigating how you might reimagine and live in cities when they're embedded with or experienced through technology. And I've published a number of books on the topic, such as Digital and Smart Cities and the Routledge Companion to Smart Cities. I argue that rather than technology distancing society from the spaces and places in which we live, it creates new and rich relationships, an approach termed digital placemaking. I'm particularly interested in how technology can create community and how we can imagine space and technology together to enable social inclusion and participation of often excluded groups. In order to do this, I work closely with real-world challenges and in long-term partnerships with rural and urban communities in deprived or excluded neighbourhoods through a co-design approach. This is to enable them to benefit from technology on their own terms and in ways that are relevant to their communities. Through funded projects with UKRI, AHRC, EPSC and the EU, these address societal challenges through a place-based approach and have a strong civic focus. And we work with technologies such as Internet of Things, augmented reality, open data and artificial intelligence. So one project, for example, is the Who's Right to the Smart City Network in Brazil, India and UK. This challenged national smart city implementation and partnered with local organisations to help them understand how to create their own approaches to smart cities. In India, we worked with the Civic Action and Consumer Group, the Indian Street Hawkers Association and the organisation ICT for Change, enabling capacity building in Chennai and Bangalore to challenge the implementation of smart city projects in their cities. In Brazil, we work with the History Under Construction and inform Brazilian smart city policy through engagement with the Secretary of Digital Inclusion at the Ministry of Science, Technology and Communication. At a policy level, I've given evidence to the Greater London Authority, the London Assembly, on the role of inclusion on smart city projects in the Smart London programme, as well as to the DCMS Research Working Group on Digital Inclusion. And we developed some work around this to enable more public engagement through a project with the Victorian Albert Museum called Hack the City, where we ran an event for families that enabled them to understand smart city projects on their own terms through fun and interactive demos. We want to think about how cities like this might be imagined in the future and how we can use technology to enable spaces and the places in which we live to be more participatory and more inclusive. To do this, I work in partnership in a place-based approach to deliver real impact.